With Sun 2036 30 3640-M3, as you can see, there is higher efficiency, the maximum efficiency up to 98.7%. It has the similar MPPTs like the previous inverter, the 36 KTL, having 4 number of MPPTs, and total number of inputs are 8, same as the previous model. 2 inputs per MPPT, and there is also a same MPPT voltage range similar to the previous one, that is from 200 volt to 1000 volt. Having a wider range of MPPT voltage range, you will have a benefit that your plant going to start up early in the morning, and later in the evening it will be keep producing the energy units. If you will compare our inverter with other inverters that have a smaller MPPT voltage range, the disadvantage is that the other inverters at that particular time, later in the evening and early in the morning, they will be in sleep mode. So higher current per MPPT, that is around 26 ampere IMP per MPPT. Compact design, we have reduced the weight to 43 kg. The previous weight for 36 KTL model was around 62 kg. So now the design is compact design with lighter and smaller size as well. The weight has been reduced to 43 kg. The protection degree is also improved as compared to the previous model. And now the protection degree is IP66, means the total protection against the dust particles and the high pressure jets from any direction is also protected in this range of inverter, the new range of this series. So once you are finalizing an inverter for your solar power plant, you will look for 3 main features that your inverter should have. One is safety of your product, the other one is higher yields, and the third one is the reliability of the product. So these are the 8 unique innovations, as you can see over here, defined one by one, that supports for your optimal electricity cost. The one is AI powered active arcing protection. The second one is CNI tailored enhanced active arcing protection. We will discuss all these 8 innovations one by one in my upcoming slides. The third one is 2 strings per MPPT, more means more energy yields, because there will be less mismatch loss having more MPPTs in your power plant. Number fourth is higher efficiency. As I said in my previous slide, that this series of inverters has a efficiency up to 98.7, means more of your DC power will be converted into the useful energy. It also have a built-in PID recovery that ensures the better module performance of your PV plant. The sixth one is no fuse and other quick wear parts in this series of inverters. And already you have noticed that all of the Huawei inverters comes with no fuse and other quick wear parts like displays and the buttons as well. Natural cooling, fully sealed. Can you guys hear me clearly? Hello, can you guys hear me? Okay. So the seventh one is natural cooling, fully sealed design, high reliability. So up to 60 KTL inverters, all of Huawei inverters are follow the natural cooling, that is via heat sinks. So there is no fans inside these models up to 60 KTL inverter. And the eighth one, the most useful one, is the online smart IV curve diagnosis, means module touch-free maintenance as well. So now we will talk about the rethink safety. So as you all aware of that, there is, in most of the cases, the arcing occurs on the DC side of your PV plant, because there is a lot of connection on the DC side that is threatening the safety of your PV plant, as well as on the building itself on which you have installed your solar system. So basically, what is it? What is the DC arcing? What is this about? So basically, the arc is a glow phenomena that is caused by the ionization of air. When an electrical conductor is in close to or is in contact with another conductor or to a ground, the voltage between them breaks down the air. So there will be a glow phenomena means there will be electrical breakdown of the air on that particular point where if there is some sort of loose connection or the broken PV cables or loose PV connectors, that can be the causes. Or the insulation of the cables of the DC cables is damaged due to aging. These are the main causes that can produce the arc on the DC side. So what is the harm for that? In an electrical system, as you know, that once there is an electrical arc, it will not only insulate the surrounding materials, but it can directly ignite the materials as well. That in that scenario, the temperature can reach up to 3000 degrees centigrade. Means there is a chances that the open flame can occur on your site. So what are the challenges that are faced during the arc detection? So basically the noise signal of the arc is around 0.1% of the normal current signal. So it is very difficult to accurately detect. But we are so confident about our AFCI feature that once you will commission your system, you will find that the AFCI feature of our inverters is enabled by default. If you will compare with other manufacturers that are also providing the AFCI feature, but you will notice that the AFCI feature in their products will not be enabled by default. So means they are not that much confident about their feature. So another challenge is that the complex component that are involved in your PV plant, like inverters, the interference that within the inverter can also cause the interference between the arc signals and also the loads and the grid. These are the main causes that can lead the faulty detection or the misdetection of the arc fault. AI powered active arcing protection. So what is AI powered AFCI, arc fault current interrupter? So basically, Huawei inverter keeps self-learning the trends and features and trends and patterns of the electrical of the arc. We have taken the data of the failure from the past and incorporated into our algorithm, that is artificial intelligence. So it will ensure the safety of your plant to disconnect your system, to shut down the inverter within less than 2.5 seconds to ensure the safety of your plant. So it will give a shutdown command to your inverter so the circuit will be disconnected. So with the use of neural network algorithm, it ensures the accurate and pinpoint location of the arc fault. So it ensures that within the time of as specified in the standards like UL 1699B, that the inverter should be shut down in case of arc fault less than 2.5 seconds. So it ensures that your system is disconnected and your inverter is shut down once there is any sort of arc on your DC side. It also, as I mentioned, that as you can see, that speedy arc fault protection by inverter shut down within 2.5 seconds, means less than. We have also we have reports from the TUV third party agency that ensures that our AFCI can interrupt the circuit less than 2.5 seconds. Once there is any sort of arc, so you will find the real-time alarm on your Fusion Solar application as well. Let me share my screen because this is a PDF file. I can't play these videos. Let me share my screen, and I have another PPT. So I will show you the video for this one. Can you guys see the screen over here? So as you can see on the left hand side, there is if the FCI is disabled, you will see that there is a continuous arcing over there. But similarly, on the right hand side, when you have enabled the AFCI function, so once there is any sort of arc on your DC side, the system will be disconnected and the circuit will be interrupted. So it will ensure that your DC side is safe and secure. So CNI tailored enhanced active arcing protection with Huawei inverters, as you have seen, as you can see over here on my screen, that from the FCI feature is built in with different inverters that is supplied by Huawei. From here, from the range of CNI, small commercial range from 12 kilowatt to 20 kilowatt dash M2. So we have built-in AFCI as well as built-in PID recovery function as well. For this range of inverter that we are discussing today from 30 kilowatt to 40 kilowatt, M3 range also have a built-in PID as well as AFCI feature. For 100 KTL, M1 Pro has the built-in AFCI as well as the PID recovery function. So I want to add here is that as long as the size of your string, DC string will increase, and also if the current of your string also increases, there is a chance that the arc signal will weaken. So means there is more responsibility on the detection instrument and the AI algorithm, that is artificial algorithm that is built in with our inverters. So there will be more responsibility of the system. So with our series of inverters, it can support the DC length up to 200 meters and the maximum current up to 26 ampere. So as you can see over here in the left bottom corner of my screen, as per UL 1699B, that is a standard for arcing protection on a solar PV plant. It defines that the DC string should cover up to 80 meters and the system should disconnect within 2.5 seconds. As you can see, that is as per the document, as per the standard, it should be around 80 meters, but we are offering with Huawei Fusion Solar inverters, the DC string length can be around 200 meters, means 150% better than the one defined in the standard. Over here, you can see that up to 62% better as compared to the current rating. As you can see, as per the standard, it should be around 16 ampere, but we are offering up to 26 ampere as well. Rethink yields. So this is the second aspect that I mentioned earlier, that once you are finalizing your inverter for your PV plant, that you also consider the higher yields from your inverter as well. So with Huawei, all of the inverters from 12 kilowatt up till 200 kilowatt, that one is for utility. We have two strings per MPPT. So means once you have multiple MPPTs on your PV plant, means there is a less mismatch loss. Mismatch loss can be caused by soiling, bird droppings, module tolerance, and the thermal mismatch can be there also. With having more MPPTs in your power plant, means a design engineer can play around with different orientations, azimuth and tilt as well. Means you can, if you have installation and you are going to install a 60 kilowatt plant and you have different rooftops, means one on one roof you are going with aligned with building orientation and one with different orientation. So you can terminate different orientation and tilt angles on separate MPPTs, but you have to make sure that the configuration on the same MPPT should remain same. As you can see over here, if you will take an example of a single MPPT inverter, in that case, if you are going to terminate 10 number of strings, if there is any sort of shadow or any sort of loss on your any one string, that will impact the whole of the 9 strings as well. In case of having multiple MPPTs with only 2 strings per MPPT, if there is only one string is under shadow, the rest of the MPPTs will be, only one MPPT will be affected for that. The rest of the MPPTs will be performing at their maximum power point. So these are the inverters for small commercial and range. So Huawei for 12 KTL to 20 KTL, it has two number of MPPTs having four number of inputs. Like for 30, 36 and 40 kilowatt inverters, we have four MPPTs having eight number of inputs, means two MPPTs, two inputs per MPPT. And for 60 and 50 KTL inverters, we have six number of MPPTs. In total, we have 12 number of inputs. Likewise, for 100 KTL, we have 10 number of MPPTs having 20 number of inputs in total. So this is the case study for having more yields. This is an installation in Bangkok, Thailand, where we have compared the SXX model of 20 kilowatt with Huawei 20 KTL inverter, and we have performed this analysis for 28 number of days. As you can see, the yields has been increased with Huawei Fusion Solar Inverter uh, around 1.56%. Up to 98.7% efficiency means more of your DC power will be converted into useful energy. As you can see, there is a different comparison between models from 12 KTL to 20 KTL M2 series. So Huawei is offering 98.3% efficiency as compared to the others. As you can see that Huawei is on higher side. Likewise, for 50 and 60 KTL inverters, Huawei is offering 98.7, similar equal to the other one, that is 98.7. But we have noticed that some of the manufacturers, what they do is that they mention XYZ efficiency in the datasheet. Once you will implement, once it is verified from the third party like TUV, they have found that there is a significant difference in the actual efficiency that the inverter is giving on the field. So you can ask for the such certificates from the supplier as well, that the data you have mentioned in the data sheet is accurate. There should be a third party verification as well for that efficiency as well. You can also check that what is the real efficiency of that particular model. Likewise, for 30 to 40 KTL inverter dash M3, we are offering 98.4%. And for 100 KTL inverter, we are offering 98.6, as compared to the lowest one is 98.2. So as you can see, there is another comparison between vendor A 60 kilowatt inverter with Huawei 60 KTL M0 series. So as you can see, the annual AC energy generation is approximately around 1 megawatt hour per year higher if you are going to use Huawei 60 KTL inverter. This is a case study. We can share the reports with you on request as well. Performance ratio is also increased by, as you can see with Huawei, the performance ratio is around 85.85%. Likewise, the inverter loss during operation, that is related to the efficiency, and also the inverter loss over nominal input power is less with Huawei 60 KTL inverter when you are going to compare with vendor A, that is 60 kilowatt inverter. In short, as you can see over here, that the yields are around 1.19% higher with Huawei 60 KTL and not. PID recovery. So as I mentioned that with certain Huawei inverters, we are offering built-in PID recovery function, like for M1 series of 3 kilowatt to 10 kilowatt inverters, and from 12 to 20 kilowatt M2 series that has a built-in PID recovery, and for 30 to 40 kilowatt inverters dash M3 also have a built-in PID recovery. So basically, what is the PID? So basically, it is a potential induced degradation that will impact the production of your solar panel as the time goes on. So let's take an example. There are 20 number of panels in series. So the panels, half of the panels that are connected to the positive pole will have a positive potential difference with respect to Earth, and the ones that are connected to the negative pole will have a negative potential with respect to Earth. And also the solar panels has a potential difference with as considering the safety regulations into account. So you have mostly the solar panels are directly grounded. So solar panels will have a potential difference with respect to the earth, and also the mounting structures are also grounded, so they will also have a potential difference with the mounting structure as well. So due to this potential difference, what happens is that the Na positive ions will flow from the glass plate of the solar panels into the semiconductor material of the cell, and that can affect the performance. So in short, the polarization of Na ions will happen on the solar cells that can contaminate over there, and that will impact the performance of your solar panels. So in 2011, one of the research institute in Germany released results that during the PID effect, the VOC and the ISC values for the particular panels are almost unchanged, but the maximum power point of that particular panel, it decreased. So it can decrease up to 30% or more. So higher the potential difference, of the PV negative with respect to the ground. So there will be faster the polarization on the solar panels. So this effect will be higher. So what are the what in which environment this effect is higher? So the areas having high temperature and high humidity can result in the severe PID effect on your PV plant. So what is the as I said, what is the negative impact? So PID can significantly reduce the power output of the PV module by 30% or more. So we have found that this polarization, this flow of the negative and the positive ions inside the solar cells can be reversed. So we are doing that with our built-in PID recovery function. We are going to have a detailed session on 25th of November this month on the PID solution that we are offering. So we will discuss in detail the concept behind that, how this is occurring in detail later on 25th of November as well. So this, as I have explained that the PID, the concept of the PID recovery, the effect that causes negative impact on your solar PV modules. So with built-in PID recovery, you are going to have effective repair of your panel modules that can restore the performance of the panel to its initial power output, almost to its initial power output. And the night consumption for the PID recovery is less than 5 watt at night. Once your inverter is in off-grid mode at night, the DC voltages are applied to offset to offset the impact of the PID effect. So it will ensure that the PV negative string to the ground should be on the higher side, not on the negative side. So it will make it positive. I will show you the TUV report in my upcoming slide. I have that in my upcoming slide as well. So we are offering this feature as a built-in recovery. So there is no need for retrofit. So some of the manufacturers are giving this option as an optional. So it means there will be a higher capex if you are going with that kind of manufacturer. So with our inverters, the capex of your power plant will be lower because we are giving this feature as a built-in. As I have mentioned earlier, that which inverters have this feature as a built-in from 12 to 20 KTL, 30 to 40 KTL, and also the 100 KTL M1 Pro, not M1, but M1 Pro has that feature as a built-in. So this is a case study for PID recovery, around 29.96 megawatt of project in China. As you can see, this one is noticed for 6 months. As I said, that as the time goes on, the PID effect will be higher on your PV plant. So as you can see, for a six number of months, the yields are improved by 1.59%. Starting from the month of June, it has improved from 0.12%, and by the end of November, it has improved up to 1.59%. So, so some of the inverters that don't have the the PID feature as a built-in, like for example, if you are going with 100 KTL M1, so we also have a solution for that scenarios as for example, you are using 185 KTL inverter on your PV plants. Can you see the presentation? Hello, can you see the presentation? Okay, so I was saying that a few of the inverters that don't have the PID feature as a built-in, so we have anti-PID module solution for that scenarios as well. For example, if you have a plant of where you are using 185 KTL or 100 KTL M1 without the PID feature, so you can use Huawei's PID module as well. That works in the same way, but that controls from the DC from the AC side, not from the DC side. As you can see, it will shift the PV negative potential to ground above zero and prevent the PID effect. So basically, once there is a PID effect on your solar panels, the PV negative to ground voltages in negative values, likewise, it can range from negative 200 to 500. So with the high voltage applied from the inverter side, so it will ensure that the voltages has been shifted to the positive side. As you can see over here, the report shared by the TUV, we have collected the 30 number of samples for one of the plant having size of 100 megawatt. So the values has been shifted to the positive. As you can see that from negative 323.5 to negative 368.8 VDC has been shifted to 13.1 to 72.1 VDC. So it will ensure that there is no more PID effect on your PV plant. So we are offering it has an high precision RCD protection. It will ensure the safety of the people on the that are working on the site as well. There is some solution that people directly ground negative side of the string, but in that case there can be safety issues on the side as well. So one PID module can support up to the 10 megawatt plant. So this is another case study for NTPID. As you can see over here that the yields has been increased by 3.05% within 8 months. So this is a plant installed in China having the size of 50 megawatt, where 40 KTL is used along with the NTPID module supplied by Huawei. As you can see, the yields has been increased from 3.05% initially. So this is only for the data for the 8 months. As the time goes on, that can improve improve the performance of your PV modules up to 30%. Rethink reliability. As I mentioned earlier, that Huawei inverters are free, inverter and module touch free. So how we are giving such solution, as you know that all of the inverters up to 60 KTL have natural cooling using heat sinks, and you can also use a plug and play dongle up to 10 number of inverters. I will explain in later slides that which dongles are compatible with which models. And also we are offering the AI boost IV curve diagnosis that is very useful tool for large scale PV plants. So there is no fuse or other quickware parts like LCD and buttons with our all range of inverters. You will not find any sort of fuse, LCD display, no buttons as well. Few of the inverters are available with display, so you have to knock on the display screen to see the values and to play around with the inverter. So we are not offering such solution because these are the quick wear parts that that don't have that particular lifespan that the inverter has. So as of now we have supplied more than 118 gigawatts of string inverters across the globe, and it is verified by the TUV that the failure rate is less than 0.5%. The report can be shared with you people on request. You can drop us an email, so definitely we will be more than happy to share the report with you, so that you can show the end customer that this product is reliable, having less failure rate as compared to the other products available in the market. As you can see a case study over here that we have supplied around 200 units of inverter during the second phase of the project, and the failure, and it has been noticed for more than 2.5 years. The failure rate was around 1.89%, up less than 0.2%. And in the third phase, we have supplied around 5,000 units of string inverters, and the failure rate was around 0.25%. And during the fourth, likewise, you can see the details in the fourth phase, the failure rate was less than 0.5%, that is around 0.4%. As I said, that this report is verified by the third party, that is TUV. So natural cooling verified by telecom and solar application. Once you will use the word of telecom, you can't put Huawei aside because we are having experience of more than 30 years in the telecom sector, and we are using the same technology that we were using with our radio, remote radio. So as I was saying that we have applied the same technology that we were using on our telecom side with remote radio units. We are finding and was only so we not economical solution because uh, and now both the FE
Sorry, guys, I believe my colleague Rafiq has some problem with his internet connection, probably. Uh, if I'm audible, please confirm it in the chat section. My name is Muhammad Kader. I'm also a technical guy in the Jbeli Bros VAE team. The slide on which our presentation got stuck is about the smart dongle, which supports up to 10 devices. This device is a plug-and-play device which connects to the USB port of the new range of inverter. It is also compatible with the previous inverter series from 3 to 20 kilowatt inverters. It comes in two versions, a Wi-Fi Ethernet supported device and a 4G device. Um, so you can use it for most of your CNI based projects because up to 10 inverters it can support. Moving forward, we have the smart AVI curve diagnosis. This is a feature which Huawei has trendsetted in the market in order to check the health of the PV strings in your PV plant. And normally what you have to do is that if there is a problem in the production of your PV plant, you might doubt that one of your strings might not be working. So you might send an engineer with some technicians to the project site in order to check manually each string and find out what exactly is wrong with the PV plant. Using this feature of Huawei, which is the online smart hour curve diagnosis, using one touch on your monitoring platform, you will be sending a command to your inverters to generate the IV curve data of your PV strings. This will be sent back to your monitoring platform, and an AI algorithm will analyze that IV curve and will be giving you a report for each string with an IV data, telling you which string is healthy and which string is not healthy. The ones which will have not healthy uh, condition, the PDF report will also tell you what are the remedies, what are the solutions that you can apply in order to solve the issue. This is a very fast way of diagnosing your PE plant. Normally, for a specific PE plant, the diagnosis can take around 2 to 10 minutes, depending on your project size. If I would say about 100 megawatt PV plant would take around 15 minutes. Similarly, if you have a smaller PV plant, it will take even lesser time. But if you're speaking about a manual diagnostic, it could take days and days on the site, and coming back to the office, you will be making a report that is also a time-taking process. I'm still receiving messages in the chat section with the distortion. Can you guys confirm whether the voice is not clear or the slides are not visible? Okay, seems like there could be some internet issue with few of our attendees, so I will continue forward. The smart IV curve diagnosis has been applied to 5 gigawatt plus PV plants globally. And with these feature having introduced, we have come to know that there are 4 major type of issues that may occur in a PV plant on the PV strings. One is the Dow short circuit, which is having the probability of more than 50% in your PV plant, abnormal output current of your PV strings, open circuit string, and glass breakage or micro cracks in the tempered glass of your PV modules. So these are the 4 major issues that occurs normally in the PV plant with the experience that we have with the smart hour curve diagnosis applied on these 5 gigawatt plus projects worldwide. So normally on larger projects of CNI and utility scale projects, O&M is very costly. And if you have some online diagnostic tool, such as the Huawei, these will bring a lot of ease in your O&M cost, and it will also take less time as well. This slide encloses all the Huawei products with their feature. Uh, I will just quickly name these inverters. We have from 3 to 20 kilowatt inverter sizes. Then we have number 2. Let me use my cursor in order to show you guys. So we have our newest generation of an inverter from 3 to 20 kilowatt. We have 36 kilowatt. We have the 1560. We have the 100 kilowatt. Now the 36 kilowatt, which is currently available, is going to be replaced with the new range as we spoke in our today's presentation. The 100 KTL is already available. It will also be upgraded to a newer version by 2021 with a little bit additional feature. We have dongle, the WLAN tab, and the 4G. And we have a smart logger. If you are using a lot of inverters in the CNI application, or you have a utility scale project that you might be considering our smart logger for data logging and sending to our cloud. Huawei has also a smart power sensor, normally referred as power meter. These comes in a single phase and three phase for projects, small size projects. You can use this. Otherwise, there are third party list from Huawei, which is compatible with our inverters and smart logo, which can be used as well. Huawei has monitoring platform Fusion Solar, which can also be used for online monitoring when you are using our dongles and smart logger. This is available on for the web, and also a free application for mobile is also available. These slides will be shared to you for and to your emails after this webinar, and you can go through in detail in this table and see what products will be available when and what feature will they have further. Thank you guys for joining me in today's session. I will quickly go through the questions that are asked. I hope you have sent all your questions that you have by clicking the question mark icon in the chat section. All those questions which were written in the chat section by clicking the question mark icon will be now appearing in the Q&A mode. I will be going through each of those questions and will be answering to you guys. Meanwhile, any of you, if have any question, can also type this question mark icon, and I will be pleased to answer each of your question. The first question is, what max DC-AC factor do you recommend as manufacturer? Normally it depends on the location that you're installing, because globally the irradiation levels, the temperature differs area to area. But for Middle East, Africa, Pakistan, these regions, 1.15 to 1.3 is kind of a normal DC-AC ratio, and you can go up to 1.4 without any issue. Beyond that, if you need to go to, just refer to us so that we can also advise you based on your project whether that would make sense to go beyond 1.4 or not. So yeah, the DC-AC ratio 1.3 is a very good DC-AC ratio, I would say, but you may go up to 1.4. Next, what about zero export or blocking reverse feeding to the grid? Since we don't have net metering system yet in Saudi Arabia, so what is recommended device to stop reverse feeding? This is a good question. For zero export, you would be required to use a power meter. Depending on the type of inverter and the number of inverter, you might need additionally a dongle or a smart logger, and these can be achieved using a power meter from Huawei or a third party. For more detail on this, we can send you guidelines, and please drop us an email. I'm writing you an email in the chat section. Anybody who has any question would be able to send questions on this after this webinar as well. It's technicalsolar.uae@jubailibros.com. So zero export in general is possible with Huawei inverter, and there is some certain factors that need to be considered, such as the use of power meter and dongle or smart logger. So case to case, we can guide you on that. We have next question. Are the inverters going to be introduced as off-grid inverters? The today's presentation was about 30, 36, and 40. These are on-grid inverter purely, but Huawei is launching a new series of inverter by Q1 2021, which will require an additional device called as backup box, and you would be able to use the smaller range of inverter up to 10 kilowatt from Huawei for the off-grid application as well. When the grid goes off, the inverter will immediately sense that and will supply power to the load connected to the backup box. So for more detail, we will be having a webinar, and we will be introducing the backup solution as well from Huawei. This is a new question that I have on my screen. Please provide more details on the cause of PID and the measure to reduce the effect of PID. As my colleague Rafiq described to you guys, the main reason for the PID is actually hot weather, humid weather, and also your string voltage will also define the severity of the PID. So the more you have a string voltage, the more would be the PID effect. So these are the three main reasons. So for the regions that we are, such as Dubai, we have hot weather, we have humid weather as well, and also on-grid PV plants are installed up to 1,000 volt, which is high. And so there is a possible chance of PID occurrence on the PV modules that are framed normally, which have aluminum frame. Aluminum itself is a good conductor to electricity. So normally what happens is that the, the electrons from your PV modules escapes and goes to the outer surface of your PV module, and there is a positive ions that will be there will be positive ions that will be accumulating on the surface of your PV module. These will be slowly increasing if you do not prevent it, if you do not prevent the PID, and gradually your PV plant will decrease its output. So for more information on the PID, I will be doing a webinar 2 weeks from now. Please tune in to that, and I will be discussing more about that. Huawei has its own solution for the PID. We have the new question, and that is about the new developed version has its own grid protection, or what interface protection device from third parties compatible with these inverters. Uh, Actually, all the on-grid inverter has anti-islanding protection inside itself, and therefore you can say there is grid protection inside, and also there is AC SPDs inside the inverter, so that is also kind of a protection for the grid, from the grid. Apart from it, interface, if you are speaking of interface protection, you can use any from any manufacturer in the market, because interface protection is actually protecting, actually switching a breaker in at the AC combiner panel. And when a breaker goes off due to interface protection, your on-grid inverter will stop its output generation. Next question. Difference between M0, M1, M2, M3. Actually, M0 is kind of a version of inverter. M1 is a advanced version. M2 is a further advanced version. M3 is a more advanced. So there is just this is just a nomenclature in terms of versions. Uh, so that, and also in order to differentiate between the different range of inverters. There is nothing too much technical in this. Next question. When these M3 inverters will be available in Pakistan? Umar, I hope so. These will be available by the end of the year with all the relevant certificates to do the pre-shipment inspections and certificate of conformity. So we will be updating you as soon as we have them available for Pakistan. We will be actually announcing that. Okay, next question. If these inverters suitable for both off-grid and on-grid, John, the 30 to 40 kTL inverters are purely on-grid. For off-grid, currently there is no available inverter, but by 2021 there will be some solution available with Huawei's own battery backup. So we will be providing more information through emails, and we will be also conducting a webinar on that. Next question. Does SPD suppress arc fault for DC? Arc fault it cannot be protected through the SPD. Our part need to be sensed separately through a separate sensor. Next. Will we use Huawei smart meter with 100 KTL-M1? Yes, the Huawei's own power meter is compatible with Huawei's products, and it has some limitations on the capacity of your P plant in case you have a scenario where you are considering Huawei smart meter with smart power sensor. Let us know and we will advise you the compatibility in your P plant. PID effect occur on DC side. Why anti-PID module installed on the AC side? What is the difference in 4G and Ethernet dongle and how it works? So this is two questions. Actually, the anti-PID on the AC side is installed in order to take power from the grid side, and there is a small power that is consumed at night time by the anti-PID module, and in order to suppress the PID that has occurred on the DC side, and this is done through the internal electronic circuitry of the inverter. I hope that explains your question. The next part of your question is what is the difference between the 4G and Ethernet dongle? So an Ethernet dongle or Wi-Fi dongle is same, and this is normally used for projects where you have internet connectivity available in the premises where you have installed the inverter. Uh, Either you will connect the dongle to the Wi-Fi directly without cable, or you can use an Ethernet cable to connect it to the internet router. But there are projects where you will be installing a project somewhere where there is no internet available in the premises of the building. So you must, if you have to monitor that PV plant, you have an option of using 4G dongle. You will be putting a SIM card inside the 4G dongle, and you'll be doing data package for the SIM card so that it can send data to the Fusion Solar Cloud through the internet of the SIM. This is the difference between the two different dongles. Next. We are finished with the questions in the Q&A mode. I hope this was an informative session, guys. At the end of this webinar, we have this quick survey. Kindly fill up, and we will be very happy to have your answers on this survey. If you are filling this survey, you are helping us making our webinars better in the future. Once again, thanks to everybody who joined our today's session. We are sorry for the interruptions in between that we had due to some internet issues. We will make sure we do not have such issues in the future and our webinars are more smooth. Thanks again, and see you guys in 2 weeks from now with another webinar. Thank you.